The Christmas festive period is upon us. For most of us, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks away from university to try to catch up on some well-earned rest. Netflix, late nights and meeting friends. Before you know it, you'll be back at university. You probably don't want to be thinking about studying over Christmas, but you'll have some essays or exams you probably should be preparing for, or at least get started with. It's going to be very tough trying to juggle family commitments over Christmas with studying. You want to make sure you get the optimal mix of both, enjoying yourself and making memories, but also having time to spend doing university work. With ADHD, it can be even harder to adjust to being at home and your changed routine to get back into study mode. In this video, I'll share 5 tips to help you make the most out of the Christmas holidays for university living with ADHD. I've applied some of these tips throughout medical school and more recently during my PhD at Oxford University living with ADHD. Make sure you check out my channel and subscribe for more content on the systems, gadgets and techniques I use to make small marginal 1% gains with ADHD at Oxford University. 1. Keep your early sleep-wake cycle and work around your family. So the first thing you want to do this Christmas is try to, as much as possible, keep your usual sleep-wake routine during term time at home. Now this is one of the highest yield things you can do with ADHD. One of the reasons we're really not very productive during holidays is because we lose our sleep routine. We lose our familiarity. With ADHD, we want to minimize disturbances to our usual study routine. We want to keep the same optimal conditions we've used to help stop us from procrastinating during term at home. Now this is actually a legit hack, because what if I can tell you, you can keep your usual sleep-wake cycle and not miss out on 99% of the fun during the holiday period. Let me let you into my own life for a moment. During holidays, what I find is that my family tends to be busy with their own errands during the day. They tend to wake up around 10 a.m. and then have breakfast and then get into the swing of their own day. By the time we actually sit down as a family to have time together and have fun, it's already the evening. Pretty much the majority of my most cherished memories with my family haven't come from the morning necessarily, but it's from our evenings together. So I can actually keep my 9 p.m. sleeping and 5 a.m. waking up routine and still spend valuable time with my family. The morning is the most important time when my family are all but asleep, for me to have undisturbed time alone. And by the time everyone starts to come down for breakfast, I've already earned a break and can come join them. After breakfast, I can go away and do my own work, so I'm done ahead of the evening when everyone's ready to relax. I know it's very difficult, but try to keep an early morning routine during the holidays. Be the first one up so you can get the majority of your work done whilst everyone's still asleep. Work around your family or your partner, build a study routine and let your family know about it so they can keep you accountable. You're going to have to say no to staying up too late, but it's going to pay dividends. Try this approach. You want to hack the Christmas period. A great way is to be there for the highlights, but not actually be there for some of the routine, more mundane times. Get your work done early, then you have the rest of your day to just relax. Work first, then reward yourself later. Treat yourself by watching Home Alone or The Godfather. You'll enjoy it a lot more once you've had an undistracted period of time to dedicate to your university work and your commitments. You'll also find that when you are actually working, you're actually going to be procrastinating less and getting deep, meaningful work. Change up your study locations, get out of the house. Now I talked about how important familiarity and a familiar study setting is to study over Christmas. Not all of us are fortunate though to have dedicated study spaces at home. So dress up warm and get outside. Try to go to different coffee shops to study in during the holidays. Find ones that open really early so you can get there before everyone is up and be back in time to have breakfast with your family. This doesn't even have to be an expensive hobby. You can ask for water or the cheapest item on the menu instead of a coffee. One of my favorite memories from previous Christmas breaks during med school and during my PhD has been spending time in some of Oxford's boutique coffee shops. There's no need to force yourself to stay at home and get bored or risk getting distracted. You can also read up the opening times for your local library during Christmas and see what days they're open so you can get out of the house for free. Build a routine that involves getting out and doing something different so you're having fun whilst working. This will massively reduce your risk of procrastinating with ADHD. Whatever you do, try to make studying fun, whether that's with a group of friends or alone, and do this often. Get into a good routine working indoors as well as outdoors. 3. Set modest goals. So my third tip to make the most out of the Christmas period is being totally realistic with what you can achieve over the Christmas holidays and round down. You want to think about how many hours you can reasonably set aside each day to work and then take off an hour or two every day. This isn't to stop you from working hard, but so you can feel more satisfied with your output each day and sleep fulfilled. When you work 3 hours a day undisturbed every single day, it's better than doing 5 hours on one day than 2 hours the next. If you set a target to do less work in your day, then you can always do more. You want to enjoy yourself so you don't procrastinate. Every other way will just make you prone to procrastinating. Little work and often is best with ADHD. Have a think along the entire 4 to 6 weeks of the Christmas break. Make sure you set aside days where you're not going to do any work and will totally and completely enjoy yourself instead. So you can have days you're going to look forward to and so you don't lose your rhythm. Make sure you don't overdo it. You need to rest and recover over Christmas and not burn yourself out before term starts. Little and often is the motto of the game with ADHD this Christmas. Christmas. 4. Visually represent your workload. Now, I don't know about you, but my ADHD makes it very difficult for me to make accurate time estimates. Time blindness is a well-established sign of ADHD. When I have a few weeks of undisturbed time where the stakes aren't that high, it's easy to not do any work at all, or not do as much work as I'd like. I like to give myself a visual cue with a Gantt chart or an Excel spreadsheet to visually represent my workload over several weeks, so I can constantly check in at the end of each day and on Sundays with how I'm getting on. So make sure you try to create your own Gantt chart or a spreadsheet, study planner or timetable. I did this throughout med school and grad school, and it's helped me make the most out of my breaks. Put it in a visual location so you can keep yourself accountable. Planning your time will also give you a good understanding of what your hardest subjects or topics are. There's no point in studying and dedicating most of your time to what you find easiest. It's far better to focus most of your efforts on the hardest assignments or exams you need to prepare for, so you can reduce some of the pressure when term starts. Study planners are a great way to keep yourself focused throughout the vacations, so you can keep yourself accountable and account for your time blindness with ADHD and keep you motivated. 5. Come back to university at least 2 days before. So I've left one of my most important strategies that I use during uni breaks till last. I know this sucks, but with ADHD it takes a lot longer for us to acclimatize to new study settings. You want to come back to your university dorm room at least 2 to 3 days before term starts, so you can settle back into the university environment, unpack all your clothes and belongings, get your workspace in order and get into a routine. It's important to have a buffer period before term starts to get you into that mental space, that mental frame of mind to get back into full-time university life. If you think coming back to university is bad, nothing is worse that I found at Oxford for my ADHD than coming back on the Sunday immediately before lectures start and finding I'm still unpacking my clothes and haven't even tidied my room. It's the most depressing feeling ever not having a 0 day. So make sure you plan ahead for these days when you have to go back early and won't be on holiday, so you can make sure to meet all your friends and say bye to family one last time. Also, make sure you include these days in your timetable so you know you have to be back at uni early, so you can try to get as much work done before you move back. Try to use these days to really reflect on the term ahead and get your books, stationery, equipment all ready to hit the ground running when term starts. Give yourself at least 2 0 days to readjust to uni life, and your ADHD and study routine will thank you for it massively. This Christmas can be a double-edged sword at university. They're great to unwind and de-stress from term time, but it's also a time where you really want to have undistracted time to study things you've not had the chance to during the term, or prepare for any university essays or exams that are coming up in the new year. Having a game plan is very, very important with ADHD this Christmas. So that's my 5 practical tips that I've used myself to help me make the most out of my Christmas holidays to prepare for university assignments. I hope you found this video helpful and learned at least one thing. Like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with more videos on the systems, techniques and gadgets that I've built at Oxford that help me make small marginal 1% gains with my ADHD. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a super productive Christmas break and see you next week.